Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. Get your Be Kind t-shirt at thebullyexposed.com. DJM, thank you for joining the show. And I'm very sorry, guys, that I'm late. I know a few of you have DM'd me and asked me when I was going online. And I said an hour from now. And it took probably an hour and a half. And I apologize for that. And the reason why is because I scored myself a Slurpee. Yes, I'm calling it a Slurpee for lack of a better word. Good morning, GMV. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, I scored myself a Slurpee. I have not had one of these in a long time, so please forgive me for being on late. But I had to finish at least a good portion of my Slurpee before I got on. GVA says, "Good morning. What time is it where you are at?" It is. Let's see, 2017, guys. 8:17. Kids Support Kids, thank you for joining the show. We got some people coming on. So today, I'm going to talk about gun control. So let me show you a video, and then from there we can start. As you can see in this video, this is a St. Louis couple who are brandishing their guns to some folks that were protesting. They said that the fence was broken and that's why they got the guns out. But the story keeps changing, so it's very hard to tell who's telling the truth and who's lying on this. GJM says it's 0600 in America. So it's 0600 in the morning right now. Awesome. Well, good morning to you guys. Good morning. And I'm not going to make this an issue of whether you agree or disagree with gun control. I simply want to point out one thing that I always tell my kids, and this is for the kids that are listening, and even the adults that are listening. When someone brandishes a gun, best thing to do is to always get out of Dodge, if you know what I mean. Get out of Dodge. Get out of there right away. Because why? Because most people do not know how to carry a gun. Okay? Most of them do not know the proper safety. As you can see here, she's behind her husband with the gun and brazed it across his back. If there was a loud noise, I'm getting a brain freeze. If there was a loud noise, if she almost tripped because she has a finger on the trigger, she definitely would have shot her husband in the back. And then he has his finger on the trigger, and going down, he probably would have shot some shots off too. Pico, thank you for joining the show. So it's always important to get out of the area when someone has a gun. When you have a gun, it's important never to put your finger on the trigger, okay? Never. And always point it down. So, like I said, these people's story have changed over and over. They claim to be a supporter of the movement that was being protested, but you never know. And one thing I know for sure is when it comes to guns or any weapon whatsoever, you never brandish your weapon out until you're ready to use it. So the fact that they have their guns out, okay, shows their thought process that they were ready to use that gun. But man, I gotta tell you, my heart goes out to this guy. He's got this woman with him, behind him, with that gun. You can see it right there. Just went right behind him with that gun. If she had accidentally shot, she would have shot him in the back of the head. And who knows what he would have done. And why I tell you this is because you really got to listen to the thoughts, okay, about people. Now, I'm going to assume these two people have had gun lessons. And when you have gun lessons, you know to always point it down. You know that it's against the law to brandish your gun out in public. And so if you're doing that, if you're brandishing your gun out like this, that really says a lot about what you're thinking. And then they turned around and got in trouble. So now they're telling police officers that, we're part of the movement too. We agree with this protesting. So we were in no way trying to harm them. No. You know better to keep that muzzle down. The wife is holding the gun like this. Okay, she had shot off. She probably would have broke her wrist as well as shot her husband in the back of the head, like I said. And so what does this have to do with bullying? It goes to show you how your bully will change words. This video that you're seeing doesn't look like people who are on the side of the protesters. Okay, because they wouldn't have come out brandishing their guns. And your bully will always try to twist things around. It's important for you guys to know that. Oh, by the way, if you have a question, please smash that question mark. Also, you can watch our show now on YouTube at Nonfiction Filmmaker. Every day when we get done here, we always put a version of it on our YouTube channel. So if YouTube is easier for you, by all means use that. All right, so let's see what we got here. Pico says guns should be in safety mode. Yeah, I don't think those guns were in safety mode. Most guns have a safe lock. Yeah, I don't think they were, that's for sure. Except revolvers. Some revolvers have safety lock also. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for letting us know that. Yeah, I feel so happy I scored a Slurpee, guys. Excuse me. But what's your guys' thoughts about the video? About anything that I said? Have you been in a situation where your bully has changed the words around? Or have you been listening and thinking about what your bully has said? You know, if you, like I've always said, you listen to your bully, you will learn a lot about what your bully is truly telling you. Like when I told you guys that I asked my bully, if I make a mistake, I would like you to please just come quietly to me and ask and explain to me what I did wrong and tell me how to do it right. And several bullies have said this. Several different times that I've said this, they've all said, oh, you want special treatment. Special treatment. Special treatment. There's special treatment for me to treat you with respect. What is that bully telling you? That you are less than. And that, in my opinion, that's what these people are telling everyone by having those guns out like that when they're in favor of the protest, they said. I don't know why you would whip out a gun if you see protesters out there. Would you whip out a gun if you saw the KKK protesting out there? I don't think they would have. Let's see. Pico says, what I'm surprised is American police using a regular pistol, and their pistols are more reliable than revolvers. And we use hand batons and tasers most of the time. That guy holding an M4A1 rifle or an R15, an AR-15, excuse me, and both should be safety locked because M4A1 and AR-15s have safety lock features. Yeah, like I said, Pico, I don't think that the safety lock was on. That's for sure. I don't think so. I would be surprised. They were ready to use their guns. And again, they said their property was being vandalized and they were in fear of their life. I know if I'm in fear of my life, I bunker down where I'm at and I don't come out of there. And so I don't know. If they don't turn on the safety lock, it means they are crazy. If they didn't turn on the safety lock, it means they're crazy. Why? Because the gun could have easily went off easier, or what? Let me know. But the main thing that I'm really concerned about with this talk is so much not gun control. Maybe that was the wrong thing to call it, but more along the lines of the story that keeps twisting and how we have to look at our bullies and we have to take them for what they really are. Someone who's scared is not going to come out with a rifle or a pistol or anything, or come out and complain, or someone who's scared and in fear of their life is going to stay in their home. Now that doesn't mean that they won't fight should the predator get into their room, which they should. But that is not something that a person that is in fear for their life does, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Some guns have bad triggers. When you slightly push the trigger, it will shoot you. It will shoot if you have a gun with a bad trigger, right? And that's exactly my point as to her holding the gun like this with her finger on the trigger. You know, you always keep that gun down. Right, Pico? You always keep that muzzle facing down. So if you accidentally shoot, it goes right into the ground. Maybe you shoot your foot, but at least you don't shoot somebody in the head. And she's just waving that gun behind her husband. I'm like, wow. I don't think showing a firearm in public is a good idea. I agree. I don't think that ever brandishing, and I think it's illegal in the United States to brandish your gun in a threatening manner, and that's what they were doing. And I don't think it's ever a good idea to show your gun. Your gun comes out. You tell, when when a person is within, I don't know, a couple of feet of you, as long as they're not on your property, I don't think you should be whipping out your gun. Especially showing it by waving the gun in public. That's right. I agree with you. Give me a second, Pico. Let me inform Tully that we're on, because I don't think he knows. So let's see where we at. If you want to show it, maybe just put it in the holster, right? Or if you're holding a rifle, take it out of the magazine. Take off the magazine. Oh, I'm sorry. Take off the magazine. Okay. Yeah. There he is. Hey, Tully. We're talking about, Tully, this video right here. I don't know if you guys have seen this video in Japan or in Australia, but I want to get your thoughts, and I want to tell you guys that really the most thing that I want to talk about when it comes to this video is the fact that the stories for the persons, these two people are constantly just changed and changed and changed, and that's the one thing that the bully will do too. Is the story will constantly keep changing. They think that they can't keep up with their lies. All bullies, and eventually their stories will continue to change and contradict each other. It's like a SD card that contains bullets. Yes, yes, that's what a magazine is. Good analogy. But it's just a shame. It's just a shame where we're going now. That people, I hope that these people, are reprimanded and held accountable for this. Sorry, you don't whip out guns. You don't take out your guns. There's no reason for that. My back got burned yesterday. How did it get burned? Please don't tell me somebody threw something at you and then it caught on fire. How'd your back get burned? What's going on with you, Tully? Have you guys seen this video in Japan and in Australia? Has it made its way out to you guys? An American middle-aged lady set me on fire, wow, while I was standing with my motorcycle. Holy cow. So you ride a motorcycle when you're working, Pico? I didn't know if someone was pouring gas or flaming substance on my back. Wow. Are you wearing a suit that that's resistant, fire resistant or fireproof? I'll tell you, it's been quite busy at work and at home. Well, that's good, right? I mean, I like to stay busy. Is it too busy? Or is it busy enough where the day goes by fast? Yes. Yes, but it's not mine. Okay, I don't know what question I asked you. Sorry. What's not yours? The suit that you were wearing? I just don't like foreigners in my country protesting. I don't know, why are people going to Japan to protest? I mean, might be a legitimate reason for that, but I would really like to know. I don't think, and if they're protesting, it's really BS, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen the Japanese people holding the African American or holding Africans, not treating them properly, and so on and so forth. It's really a shame because I talked with my friend, a few friends in New York, and I'm sorry guys, on days that they were supposed to vote, the voting machines weren't ready. They were broken down. The person who runs the the voting center or runs it never shows up, like 2 hours late. So to me, that's voter suppression going on. So we got to be careful for that. Totally kids. Kids Baghdad. Thank you for joining the show. Pico says there is protest. Many foreign people come to Japan and they think we're mistreating black people in Japan. Oh, okay. I mean, I have not. I think I would have to spend several years in Japan to know something like that. So I really can't speak on that. I don't know if that's happening or not. I just know when I was there, I never experienced any kind of people, treating us different. I never had that, so, but that's not to say it's not happening. But I'd be surprised if it was. Protesters also make nuisance for locals. Yeah, I bet. Well, I wonder, I would really love to speak to someone that's protesting, because I would really like to know why do they feel that they need to protest in Japan? Because there are a lot of unfortunately countries that do hold back the African race, tries to demean in some way the race. Tully says we are trying to relocate our kids to different schools. What's up with that? What's going on there? Let me know what's going on there. Why do you think your kids need to go to another school? Just change the scenery, or is there something going on at the school where your kids currently go? What's going on, Tully? I think Tully, I could be wrong, not speaking for Tully, but I think Tully's fine with Tully. Now I'm cold. But my wife keeps the house super, super cold and all that ice. Now I'm freezing. I do want to let you guys know that live feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, nonprofit dedicated to helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. And the theme song is brought to you by Young Blue on Instagram. Check them out. So what's up with the relocating of the kids, Tully? And you think just want a different school for them? What's going on? So today, it was very interesting today. We got our dogs prepared for the move to Japan. No, excuse me, not Japan. Italy. Sorry about that. And I'm really happy. Let me see something here. Let me see what I got some pictures here. Let's see. Really, really happy with oh my God. There we go. Okay. So that's when we brought the dogs in to get their shots. So you stand outside, you no one's allowed in. They'll talk to you when you get outside about what your dog needs and so on and so forth. Then they come outside, they take your dog. Oh, let's see what else. Do I have another one? No, I mean that's maybe that's a better shot. No. So they'll take your dog, they'll give your dog your shots. Then when you come back, one person goes into the doctor's office to pay. They take your temperature, make sure you're the right temperature. And my wife was I didn't go in, but my wife told me that she was very, 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 very impressed with how they're dealing with the safety of keeping the COVID under control by making sure that they check everyone the right way and that everyone keeps the distance and that everyone's wearing a mask, and that's real good. That's my wife was impressed, so that's really good. And I was impressed with what I saw outside. No one coming in to the establishment, everybody keeping a good distance and making sure that they do the right thing to keep this under control. It's getting crazy. Europe has just announced that they are not allowing any Americans in to Europe. So that's very interesting. So unless you have to work in Europe, you are not going to Europe. No tourists, no American tourists at this time. And that's because America isn't doing what they have to do to bring the COVID down. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame. And America thinks that it's a joke. Let's see. Tully says because they are finding it difficult at the mainstream high school. Okay. I want to move to white country, but I'm just scared with the people. I also want to move to Australia, but I'm also scared. Oh, Australia is very far from where you're at, my friend. Like I said, Tully, when you get to a foreign country, let me put the music back on. So when you get to a foreign country, you're going to find knuckleheads. I'm going to call them knuckleheads, but that's what you're going to find, a bunch of knuckleheads. And when you find these knuckleheads, those are the people you just stay away from. As simple as that. And I know it's hard sometimes, especially like if you're working and these knuckleheads work with you. But the best thing to do is just to stay clear of them. And you'll find that there will be a group of people that think that you are cool and that won't think anything negative about you, and those are the people that you keep close to you. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I do it. You're a knucklehead, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to associate with you. I'm not nothing. And you'll find that when you don't give people chances, guys, if someone is bullying you, or if it's just someone wants to be a knucklehead, like I said, when you don't give them a second chance, they want to be your friend more. When you allow people to treat you, disrespect you all the time, those people won't respect you. People will respect you if you have a friend. They're cool with you. You're hanging out, you're doing your thing. Then they start to act like knuckleheads, or they start to think, well, I can bully this person, whatever the case may be, and you just cut off the ties. That's it. Boom. Cut them off. We're not friends no more. And they say, hey, come on, what's up? I'm sorry. I was just kidding. And you decide to be their friend again. That second time, they're just not going to respect you anymore. So if you give somebody a second chance and they do the same thing again, you definitely need to end it right there and not give that person the time of day again. But if you ended the first time, because, to me, how do you know? How do you know, right? How do you know to give somebody second chance or not? I have given friends second chances. How you know is if you meet a guy on Monday and on Tuesday he's bullying you, you don't give that person a second chance. You give a person a second chance who you met like maybe when you were 5 years old, and you're 25 years old and he's starting to bully you. That's a person that you can say, okay, we've been friends a long time. You've always been cool with me. Why are you doing this now? I don't know. But if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. But I'm not going to take your abuse. So let's see if this can work again. Let's see what we can do. And you be their friend. But someone you met on on Wednesday, like I said, and they're bullying you on Tuesday, done. Do not be friends with those people. And believe me, it's easy for me to say. I don't give people a lot of second chances. And when I do, I want to make sure it's right. And I definitely won't be giving people second chances who I just met. If I just met you and you're doing this, let me give you a good example. I had a friend one time who unfortunately was beat up by their significant other. Okay? And so when the person first beat the person up, and all their friends came to kind of console this person, and we're trying to console this person, and we're talking to the person, and the person who got beat up is saying, I can't believe that this person would do this to me. We've been together such a long time. I can't believe that they would do this to me. And then somebody else would say, well, I kind of knew that the person would. When you first met, you got into an argument and he made you walk home. So here's the situation. Let me paint this real good for you guys. They went on their first date. They got into an argument. And one person, notice I'm not putting any sex on this because I don't want any sex to be put on this. One person made another person walk home. That right there tells you that this person is not a good person. Okay? I think that we've all been in situations where we're getting it. Thank you for smashing that heart, Pico. I think we've all been in situations. Pico says he has to go. All right, Pico. You have a good day. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for smashing that heart. So we've all been in situations where we're driving someone home, and a fight might break out, and the person says, "Drop me off here. I want to go home." And you say, "No, I know we're arguing." I've always said this. I know we're arguing, but can I please take you home, drop you off at home so I know you're safe, and then go and do what you got to do. Now, sometimes the person would say, fine. Sometimes the person would say, no, let me out here. And I would say, please, can I just drive you home? No, okay. You're adamant about it. Let me drop you off somewhere safe where you can go. You don't just pull over the car and drop the person in the middle of nowhere. That is not a good friend. And if a friend does that to you, or you're on a first date with someone and they do that to you, why in hell would you continue the relationship? That's what I gotta say. Why in hell, I'm gonna say it again, would you continue that relationship? So we have to really start using our ears, using our eyes, using our spider senses, whatever we have to use to start seeing people for what they really are. Okay? And like I said, so I'm going to say it again. Yes, I know I'm going to get a DM. You repeat a lot of stuff in your shows. Yes, because some of you need to hear things 6, 7 times before you really understand. So I'm going to say it again. If you meet a friend on Monday and on Tuesday he's bullying you, that is not a friend. Cut off that and don't go back. You have a friend that, again, you met him at 5. Adore Corpse, thank you for joining the show. And you've been friends for 20 years and you get into a very serious argument, that might be someone you might want to be friends with again. If you have any questions, Adored Corpse, smash that question mark, start the Q&A. So the other day we had a question, and I think it was in German. So I'm not able to answer that question. And again, I reached out to that person, hoping that they will give us a translation to their question, but didn't come. So I can't answer that question. But let's see. I think I got something here from Tully. I think Tully had it. Oh, that's right. The question of who is the best teacher? Who is your best teacher? So my best teacher was a teacher who was one of my culinary arts teachers, Palsy. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Thank you for joining the show. Hit that question mark. You are watching Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago, sponsored by Traveling Tech Teacher. So my best teacher that I've had has to be a teacher when I was in culinary school, because he always treated me like a human being. He always did. Even at a time when, white teachers really don't teach white kids, kids of color to be good, students, or really care about their well-being. He was really invested in my well-being. He told me what schools were good to go to, what schools to go to, or I should say colleges, what colleges were best for me to go to, how to apply to them, how to answer that the question that you normally get from a good school, where they want to know who you are. So you have to write a letter telling them why you want to get into whatever business or trade you want to get into. He really invested himself, and it's a shame that I can't remember. I really feel bad that I've tried several times. I talked about him several times on the show, and I've tried very hard to remember his name, but I just could not. But he was great. He was a restaurant owner. He was just an all-around good guy. You could tell that when he spoke to you, he had no problem with you being any color or any race or any sex. I don't know. I'm not a male. I'm not a female. Excuse me. I'm not a female, so I don't know how he treated the females. But I know when it came to the guys, and a person like that, if you don't see color, can you be a person that doesn't see color but sees sex? Yes, I've seen that. I've seen guys that, date all type of women on the spectrum. They don't care about color. They have all types of white, black, orange, green friends, but they just treat women with disrespect, and they think women is beneath them. Hey, Rich, sounds like that movie Lean on Me. Yeah. Yeah, I hear that teacher was very good too. That took place in New Jersey, which is really just the next state over from where I grew up in New York. But that I would have to say is my best teacher. Yep, Morgan Freeman played the character. Let's see, what else? What else you thinking about? I was looking at that movie, the other movie you sent me, about I think the guy who's dying, and I forget the name of the movie that you were telling me about earlier. I'm gonna have to check into that movie a little bit more because I saw a couple of reviews from it, and it says that a very it's a very good movie, very interesting. Excuse me, very entertaining movie. Now I'm starting to I'm starting to get the burps from the Slurpee that I had. You know, I know you guys saw me eating it with a spoon. I prefer to eat my Slurpees with a spoon rather than a straw because I think with a straw it gets more air inside your chest and you get more burpy. I think, and I'm more apt to get brain freezes because I'm sucking up more with a spoon. I mean, with a straw than a spoon. So that's why I like the straw. But that's my favorite teacher, and thank you for that. Oh, and I know one person asked they would like to see a photo of me when I was younger. So I don't know if you saw this yet, Tully, but I'll show it again for you guys that didn't see it. That's me, 21 years old. That's my dog. I love Rottweilers. That's me. I love Rottweilers. That's my Rottweiler right there that I had. So there you go, guys. Thank you for your DMs and your questions. And like I said, I know some of you are afraid to ask questions on the show because sometimes your bully is watching, and they they harass you about the questions you ask. So don't worry. You could always DM me your questions. Everything stays confidential. I really don't say people's names unless they really, really push that they want their name out there. Otherwise, I keep it all private for you guys. I think that's the best way to do it. And it's a shame, that bullies got nothing better to do than to watch what sites you're going on or whatever, what live feeds you going on and just to be a pain in the ass to you. But, guys, I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to tell you guys over and over again. When you get a guy like that, you just need to block him. I know that they create names faster than you can block them, but block them. I know there's some of you that are changing names and you come to me and you say, oh, I got a new name. This is my new name because I was being bullied. I don't think that's the right thing to do, guys. I think the right thing for you guys to do is just to block them. They'll get bored of it. If you do not answer a bully, I mean, believe me, when we first started, we had a lot of that. And we just block them. So they said, oh, this guy's no fun. They have to work harder to create the names. So if you change yours, you're not making them work hard. Because all they have to do is just do a couple of search here and there, and the names they got you are done. I mean, the names, they don't have to create a new name. Make them create a new name. Send us their name. Send us their name along with the proof that they're bullying you, because you guys have to understand this. A lot of you send me stuff that, oh, can you report this guy? He's saying bad things to me. Okay, what has he said to you? And some of you say, oh, well, he disagreed with me about gun control. I'm not going to report someone to Instagram just because you guys don't agree on gun control. Okay, you have to send me where they've a screenshot of where they said the negative things to you, the curse things that they said to you. So please, I'm glad that I brought this up. But please do not send me things. Report this guy, and then tell me what he called me. He called me a jerk, or he called me an idiot. On in a comment that's not good. Constant repeating, constant bullying. Send me 3 times a day on 3 separate dates where they have bullied you. Those are the kind of things I want to see. I'm not saying that they're not bullying you, but someone calling you an idiot, guys, we have to learn to ignore that. I told you guys that. What kind of life would I have if I didn't like every time someone called me an idiot. It's 100 times a day, guys. You know, but it's the threats. You know, it's like I told you, when I was bullied in the workplace, it didn't bother me when the supervisor said you're an idiot or screamed at me at the top of their lungs. That didn't bother me. And they saw that. So they had to raise their ante up, and they had to do more things, you know, they had to do more things like cost me harm, cost me money, you know. They would suspend me for nothing. I've done nothing, and they would suspend me. One time I got hurt, and give you an idea of the bullying that I experienced. One time I got hurt, went to the doctor, okay? Doctor said, you should be out of work for about a week. I was out of work for a week. Go back to the doctor. Doctor says, okay, you can return back to work. I would return, you know, I would get the doctor's note, return back to work, and they would say that's not acceptable. Right? So they're saying they know more than my doctor. Then they know more than any doctor. You know, sorry, this is not acceptable. And they would play games like your doctor has to say these specific words. You know, like it is okay for Richard to return back to work. We will take all responsibility. Let's just say that's not what they said. But let's just say they said that. So I would have to go all the way back to my doctor and say, it has to say this, okay? It has to say this. Then the doctor would not, you know, the doctor wouldn't think, well, it has to say it verbatim. Like one doctor told me, okay, and he wrote it in his own words. He wrote basically the same thing, but in his own words. And I told him, I said, I think they want it verbatim. They said, that's ridiculous. No company's going to ask for that. Okay, I've asked. You don't have to listen to me. I went back. I'm sure, as smart as I am, staying one step ahead of my bully, I was right. They looked at me and said, nope, you can't return back to work. I'm like, okay, why? Because he said, you know, it's okay for you to return back to work. Sure, we'll accept all responsibility, and that's not what I said. I said, we will assume all responsibility. Okay, so I had to go all the way back and get that in writing to my doctor. And my doctor, that's when my doctor knew, oh boy, you are being bullied. I can remember that I had one doctor say that then. No, they don't want it verbatim. When he saw me in there and he said they want it verbatim, that's exactly what he said to me. They want it verbatim. I was, wow, what the hell are they doing down there at the post office? And it's really funny because that particular doctor had a lot of problem with his mail. And he's like, and he told me one day, he sat me down and he told me, he goes, you know, I didn't want to tell you this, but when I first met you and you said you were a postal worker, I was like, I wanted to ask you, why the hell can't you guys get your act straight down there at the Postal Service? Why are you guys always fucking up the mail, to put it not so nicely? Why are you guys always messing up the mail? And I was like, and I told him, I said, and I'll tell you guys the answer to that, because the supervisors bully the good employees so much that they have to work faster to get their jobs done, and they make mistakes when they work faster. And then the lazy ones that don't care, that might have a father who's a postal worker. I mean, a postal supervisor somewhere else, or a postal postmaster general, not general, but postmaster somewhere else. They can do whatever they want. They can walk around and be lazy and do their job half-assed and not care, and nothing happens to them. And by the end of him taking care of me with my arm, he was like, wow, I got my answer now. Because they're busy making sure that a doctor's note says exactly what they wanted to say. You know, and I know some people are going to say, well, you're not the supervisor, you know, or it's not your business, so you should not be telling them what they need to have on there for you to return back to work. You're absolutely right about that. But then you have that in writing, and you have that for everyone. You know, you just don't have it for just one person. And I think that's the important part. You just don't have it for one person. You have it for everyone. And you write down and you say, these are the rules. Sweet BB Kathy, thank you for joining the show. You have it for everyone and you make it fair, but that's not what happens. What happens is that they treat just one person that way. One person has to jump through hoops in order to return back to work, while everyone else just returns back to work with just a normal doctor's note. Let's see. Sweet BB, if you have any questions, please smash that question mark and start the Q&A. Tully says, yes, it's weird that the bully at work still tries to get a conversation with me. Yeah, if I was you, Tully, when it comes to that, I would say to them, whatever. Hey, how'd you like that game yesterday? Let's just say they ask you that. Say, I think the game was very exciting, or I didn't see the game, I'm sorry. And that's it, and walk away. You don't want to be rude, right? You never want to be rude, or you never want to isolate anyone. You never want to do that. That guy that's your bully today. Two ladies, thank you for joining the show. That guy who's bullying you today could be the guy who saves you tomorrow. That has happened to me. I've had supervisors that were bullying me one day, then the next day they would say, they're telling me to bully you. I don't know why. Here, I'm gonna help you out, but you can't tell them that I'm helping you out. I've had supervisors say that. So supervisors bullying me one day, then the next day they're all great with me. Dr. V, thank you for joining the show. Thank you for smashing that hard. What's on your mind, Dr. V? So we got a full house. Somebody start the Q&A. Ask me a question. Smash that question mark. Ask me a question. So there's a lot of games, basically, is what today's show is about. Your bully will change your words around. Your bully stories will change all the time. And we got to really see bullies for what they are. We got to listen. The number one thing is to listen to bullies, like I told you. And I'll always use this one as an example. Happened many times to me, and I'll say it again. I told the bully, look, if I make a mistake, I just want you to come to me very calmly, tell me what I did wrong, and show me the right way to do it. And what the bully would say, what Mr. Santiago wants, this is how they said, what Mr. Santiago wants is special treatment. Dr. V, I'd like to know what you think about that. If I tell someone, look, just explain to me what I did wrong, explain nicely without yelling at me, and show me how to do it right, and that's it. If they say to me, boy, you want special treatment, what does that tell you, Dr. V? And for me, I'm going to tell you what it means for me while we wait for Dr. V to answer. It tells me that I cannot have special treatment. And it's not special treatment. But that treatment of talking to me with respect and dignity is not that special treatment, and that's something that I'm not going to get. So what does that say to me? That for whatever reason, my color, my sex, maybe because I'm just a worker, and you discriminate against all workers, because if you're not a manager, you're a piece of crap, excuse my words. But Dr. V says she's just listening in. Okay, just got that, Dr. V. That's fine. You could just put your phone down and listen in. I do that sometimes with some people. But listening to what our bullies say is important. Can someone tell me something that their bullies have said to them? Oh, Dr. V is chiming in. Thank you, Dr. V, for taking time from your busy schedule to chime in. She said, your explanation to your boss was spot on and very professional. A boss should respond that way. That way it needs more leadership training. Yes. Tully says, there are some nurse managers not allowing their staff transfers to other departments when another job opportunity comes up. Isn't that a type of bullying? Yes, they're keeping you from moving up ahead. MGV says, my son was bullied from the age of 6. Wow. Is he no longer bullied? You said was bullied. So is he no longer bullied? And if he's no longer being bullied, how did you handle it? I'm very curious. Yes, that is a form. That is a form of bullying. Tully, to answer your question, I was bullied that way. I would try out for jobs, and that I was more than qualified for, and would not get because the supervisor did not like me, and there's that form of bullying, along with not allowing people to transfer. You might not be going for a bigger job in where you work. You might just be shifting from, like in my case as a postal worker, shifting from one station to another station, which is the same pay and everything else. You're just working in a different zip code. They would not allow. They would try to stop that. They would try to stop that. So yes, not allowing you to transfer to an equal job, not allowing you to get promotions is a form of bullying. Yes, thank you for that statement, Tully. He's going on 9 years old now. Okay. And how did you stop the bullying, or is it still going on? And that's a shame. Dr. Vasquez says, thank you again. Yes, Tully, that is a form of bullying. A good boss wants their good workers to progress forward. If a boss does not want you to move up, they love your work. They are selfish. Yeah, I mean, it would be a good thing your boss says, no, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. But I definitely don't think that's the case here. Yeah, so that's why I say it's always important to never burn your bridges, for lack of a better word. So if the person is bullying you 1 minute, like Tully said, and the next minute they're talking to you and asking you what you thought about the game last night. Aya ZXO, thank you for joining the show. Your best bet is not to just like walk away and not answer them. But you don't want to sit there and talk to them either, because some bullies will do that. They'll bully you one day, talk to you friendly, so you let your guard down, and then boom, you look behind you, you got a knife in it, So, like I always tell you guys, don't alienate people. So you talk to them, you say, oh, I didn't see the game yesterday, thank you, but I gotta go, I'm busy. Boom, and that's it. And you walk away, and you're not rude. You answer them, and that's it. Even if it's a rhetorical question, a stupid question that they know that they're teasing you with. Like, let's just say one day at work you slipped and fell, and the bully comes up to you and says, hey, how was that game yesterday? And you say, oh, it was pretty decent yesterday. And then you turn around and they go, hey, by the way, how was that trip you took yesterday? That's why it's not a good idea to get into conversations with someone that you know is your bully, and you'll know it, you'll feel it inside you. Okay, and if you get that feeling, trust that instinct, and just, hey, Young Blue, thank you for joining the show. Just say, hey, I didn't see the game yesterday, or I definitely wouldn't say the game was great, because then you're going to get follow-up questions. But if you get, I didn't see the game, I got to go, bye, and you're right, yeah. Dr. V says it's a trap. Yep, we've all seen Star Wars, right? It's a trap, that's it. It is a trap. And good morning, I can't listen today. Oh, no problem. Thank you for stopping by. Smash that heart before you leave. Everybody, please smash that heart before you leave. We got 1 minute. I want to remind you guys that live feed is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. Brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. And don't forget that anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another. Listen to your bully, guys. It's important. And have a great day. BB, sweet BB, bring that up tomorrow. Because we're about to get knocked off by Instagram. But bring that up tomorrow. I definitely want to hear what we have to say about that. I took a screenshot of it and I'll answer that tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.